You're really having a moment, I feel like, Andie. I mean, your career has been a long one. I, of course, remember you in Groundhog Day and Four Weddings and a Funeral.
You're lovely.
Can you believe those movies came out almost 30 years ago?
Yes, I can. I can. And it's, working in your 30s is fantastic. It's just in my business, I think in particular, the casting is so much easier in your 30s. And then it gets tougher. I remember turning 40 and going to a film festival and having a woman interview me, a young woman interview me. And one of her questions was, how does it feel to get older and lose your beauty? She actually said that to me. I know, it was kind of sad. It made me sad for her because all I could do was think, you're going to be me someday. Why are you promoting that idea? Why would you even think that? But there is a lot of relevance and truth to the aging face of a woman and the aging face of a man and how it affects your career. It does. So there is a time transformation, I think. People don't quite know what to do with you. And now I'm at a time, you talk about where I am now. I'm so in my age because my hair really does help that. It does. I'm so I'm here. I think people are more, even men are more comfortable. Now they know what to do with me. It's apparent.
People have been fascinated, Andie, that you decided to go gray. And I'm just curious what your decision-making process was. Why did you say, I'm doing this? This is who I am.
Here's when it happened. I kept hinting to my hairdresser, who also works for L'Oreal. I had been saying it for a while. People would say it's too soon. But it was something I wanted at a younger age. I thought that it would suit me. I really did. I thought that the idea of kind of salt and pepper would suit me. I thought it would look good on my face. And when it started growing out during COVID, I thought I was right. It looks good on me. I kind of felt it because my mother died when she was 53. I was 23. I never got to see her transition, but I saw my father transition. So I kind of went by him and George Clooney. By them, and I was like, I really think it's going to suit me. And I did. As it was growing out, my eyes popped. The color of them looked a little different. I liked the way my skin looked better. And there was a feeling. It empowered me more. I felt more powerful and I felt more genuine and I felt more myself.
What kind of feedback do you get for it, Andie? Are people saying, good for you, right on?
Everybody's great about it. Everybody's wonderful about it. And it makes me laugh when someone says it makes me look older. I mean, what do you think I look? How old do you think I look? I mean, I'm going to be 65. What do you think I look? 75 just because I let my hair go crap? But I mean, I do know there is something that happens in our brain with women with silver hair. It is true. It happens, but I don't care. I want to be old. I'm tired of trying to be young. I don't want to be young. I've been young. And to be an older person trying to be young, what an effort. That's a lot of effort. I mean, I'm already working on staying in shape, keeping good care of my body, nourishing my skin, working on my brain. How much can I possibly do? I mean, I just can't keep up the charade, I can't.
As we show more images of women aging, older women, it becomes more normalized. I think part of the problem is we don't embrace images of women with wrinkles and gray hair and see beauty in them. And if we do, it's only occasionally with someone like Helen Mirren, for example. But she's truly an anomaly. And now you're becoming, I think, someone who people see as embracing the age she's in and loving the age she's in and making the most of the age she's in.
Right. And honestly, I don't judge anybody for the choices that they make. I think we all are creative beings and we have a way of seeing ourselves. And and we make choices for ourselves. I mean, somebody was saying something about Madonna the other day, but I'm like, Madonna's Madonna. I love her. I think she's fabulous. I just don't want, at the same time, even though I may be portraying this person who's really comfortable in her skin or whatever, I don't know, in 10 years, I might change my mind. I can't guarantee you. I don't know. I can't tell you how I'm going to feel. We have a lot of options. And whatever people want to do, let people be. I just don't think we have time to pass judgment on anyone. I think we need to be more loving. I think that's also something. The more open your heart is, the softer and more gentle you are on other people, the bigger break you give yourself as well. As we can't be judgmental and harsh on everyone. I think we have to love people for who they are and the choices they make, and accept them for who they are. And because, gosh, I want that. I want someone to give me a break as well. So I think that's really important.
So many of my friends who are in their 60s or even in their 50s and are single complain that men their age want to be with women in their 20s and 30s. Does it frustrate you that eligible men around your age would want to go 20 or 30 years younger?
This has been happening forever. I know it is a fact, so I can't get frustrated with what the facts are. It is what it is. I think I'm more frustrated that I can't be comfortable with someone who's 20 years younger than me, because I am so schooled. I am so affected by our culture. It's so ingrained, it's so deeply ingrained in me, that I wouldn't be comfortable. I mean, it's like, I know Cher's doing it. I'm so glad for her. I'm glad she's comfortable to do that. I think it's fabulous. I hate it if anybody says anything demeaning about it whatsoever. And I've seen a lot of women do that to other women in the past. They've been horrible to them. It's terrible when we don't build each other up. We need to build each other up. I wish I could make that choice. I joke about it. That's about as far as I go. I joke about it, but I've never. I've dated someone 11 years younger than me, but it didn't, we felt very contemporary. Nothing felt different about it. I'm not even dating. I haven't dated in such a long time, but miracles do happen. I mean, it's still possible.
You're everywhere right now. I've seen you walk a runway in a fashion show recently. I've seen you on the cover of magazines. You were on the cover of Elle. What do you make of this attention suddenly?
Oh, I think Maid helped.
Come on, you know you love me.
I do love you.
Okay, I know you do. Give me a really good hug.
Okay.
It was so hugely successful. And I think anytime you do something that's hugely successful, it gives you a boost. It helps your career. I think the interest in talking about aging, I think that does interest people. I used to suffer a little bit with this idea of actress model. I was like, because I worked so hard to be an actress, I've done so many movies, and I wanted people to see me as that. And then I got to the age where it was kind of ridiculous to see me as a model, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm a model. If that's what I am, that's what I am. But I really don't do enough of it, to tell you the truth. A real model is actually out there doing it. They're out there doing the runway and going to all the shows, and that's what they do. Of course, I don't really do that anymore. A part of me would like to do more of it. I'd like to do more rather than less, honestly, but.
I think it's wonderful seeing you celebrated. And I think now you can be both. I don't think you have to put yourself in a category.
No.
And I think it's actually sending a message to women that's really important, Andie. So I appreciate you being out there and showing yourself and saying I'm still beautiful and vibrant. And even if my hair is gray, that doesn't mean I'm not a fully engaged human being.
Right. And I do think there is the importance of seeing beauty at every age, and it's not limited to a certain age. And that's one thing that I struggled with is the idea, like every once in a while, this is a concept I want you to think about. Every once in a while, I'll say to someone, I'm old. And they'll go, no, you're not, or like that, like it's some horrible thing to say. And I'll say to them, but what if I said I'm young? Don't have a problem with that, do you? The truth of the matter is, I'm old. And that's okay. That's what I really want people to stop and think about. It's like, why do we have so much shame attached to getting older? Because it's an important and valuable time in our life. We're towards the end. We have no time to waste feeling shame.
I always feel like everyone who's talking that way or shaming people who are older, they will be there at some point if they're lucky.
If they're lucky. And it is a valuable time, because I also feel your heart is so big. You by this time you have suffered a lot. You've suffered a lot. And your heart starts to understand what true love is. It's not a frivolous thing. You get to this place where you understand so much more about empathy and compassion and depth of feeling and understanding and time.
Speaking of time, I think that's very much what your latest movie, My Happy Ending, is about.
What are you doing here?
Research for a new role.
Oh, wait, what's in your IV?
Vitamins.
Vitamins?
Vitamins.
It's about an actor who is diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. She's living in London and she is facing her own mortality. I'm curious, Andie, why you wanted to make this movie.
Well, the character was fascinating to me. And I think that, if you didn't know what it was to be an actress, I think a lot of times people think an actor is spoiled, rotten, completely spoiled, rotten. But an older actress is not. Because everything's being taken from her, She knows what it's like to be a loser. And this character's had her play. They hated it,
Eviscerated by the critics.
Yeah, thank you. That's right. And then she's also, when you're at this age, it's a game with publicity as well. It's like, how do you get the right publicity? And how are you seen?
What I enjoyed about it is the camaraderie of the women and the connection they had.
How do you guys do it?
We go on our holidays. It's just a little thing that we do to take our minds off the pain.
Where are we?
We're on a beautiful island.
Cancer is the great equalizer, and you had these women from all different walks of life sitting together, getting chemo and helping and supporting one another. I found that incredibly moving. But I also thought it was interesting, Andie, at the end, your character decides to forgo her treatment. And that was very interesting to me as well, because I could see handling this both ways. And I'm wondering if you had any thoughts about that.
Yes, I mean, there was a part of me that was worried and concerned that, that people could see that the wrong way, especially people with stage 4 cancer of any sorts. But I think her diagnosis was pretty much set in stone, that doing the treatment was going to give her X amount of time, really not that much. It wasn't going to give her very much time. And what she realizes when she goes through that day is how none of her career did not matter. Honestly, none of that mattered. How, people perceived her, how the public perceived her. As much as she loved her agent and her job, none of that mattered. She really wanted to show up for the wedding. That was it, period. She didn't want to take away the attention from her daughter. She didn't want to be a burden to her daughter. She's probably already been a burden to her daughter plenty. And she just wanted to get that one thing right. That's it. And it was more valuable for her to make that choice. So it's not a selfish choice. It really was for her daughter and for the things that really mattered in the end. That all this other stuff that she was trying to hang on to really didn't carry any weight at the end of the day. If you know you're going, the only thing that mattered was just look at it, just want to do that wedding right. I want to get that right. And it was the right decision for her.
You mentioned Maid. I absolutely loved Maid. Your character was so wacky, and you got to play the mother of your real life daughter, Margaret Qualley, who's a fabulous actor. What was that experience like for you working with your daughter, Andie, in Maid?
It was interesting. And for me, she's very mature. She's a very mature person. And I, being her mother, I know her. So I gave her space completely because I knew that's what she would want. She was a wonderful scene partner, and she trusted me completely, and she liked the choices that I made.
Hey, Mom, where's Maddie?
I have a life of my own, you know. I can't be watching children all day. I have work to do, my own work. Okay?
Basil, are you in here?
Yeah.
It was exhausting to play that character. It took a lot of energy to play that intense feelings. I imagine living like that must be so exhausting for anybody who has that intense range of emotions.
How do you feel about Margaret following in your footsteps, Andie?
I don't think she's following in my footsteps. I think she's forging her own road in a really strong and powerful way. She's so fearless. She has no shame attached to anything. And if anything I did for her is to help her love herself and her abilities to be that without any shame. That's the only thing I really did for her. All of my children, I think, are very interesting characters and their own creative self. If I did anything good as a mother, it's that. They are not extensions of me by any sense. They're definitely their own selves, their own creative entities. They're individuals. And they fascinate me because they're so different than me. They really are. I learn from them all the time.
I love talking to you. Andie, thank you for taking this time. I really appreciate you. And I'd love to spend some time without a camera and without a Zoom and just have a glass of wine.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. I would love that. I want to learn more about you.
Thanks, Andie. Okay, bye. Talk to you later.